It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast, North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, as in weather, sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Couldn't be any more clear. I mean, these 3 bullet points in tonight's discussion covers what's going to happen the next couple of days. Humidity increasing, we've already seen that. Rain returning, we're beginning to see that in spots. And puddles will be forming this week, big puddles. Maybe bigger than you'd expect, and it could be something tropical or pseudo-tropical. We'll have to wait and see. But I do want to get to the nuts and bolts. I want to say thank you for being here. We're going to cover a lot of things here. First of all, today's high was 79. Wait a minute. Wasn't it 79 yesterday? It was. Wasn't it 79 degrees the day before? It was. Wasn't it 79 degrees the day before that? It was. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I mean, to hit 4 times in a row, but that's where we've been. I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, look at this full screen. You say, hey, that's kind of wild. You mean the hottest temperature we've had all month, which was last Friday, August 1st, was 80. 79 today, to be fair, felt like 81. And so we've had 5 days below normal, but if you really put this into context, look back over the last week of July, 106, 101. Now these are heated as seas, mind you. There feels like temperature, but it felt like 110 Sunday, the last week there in July, and then 106 Friday. It was like bookends, 106, 106. So it's kind of remarkable to look at the fact that we had 10 above normal days. But even when it was like 86 or 89, what was amazing to me is the fact that like places like, I mean, even 86, 89 felt like 100 or 102. So it didn't have to be a 90-degree day to feel very, very hot, but that's where things have been. And I just want to kind of put it in context. The temperature change you can see right here is pretty much even with where we were in many cases, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, both at 76 degrees. Are you on the call? I would love to say hello to you. I know that, weren't you predicting this in August? I was. I kind of was. I mean, you got to go back to, this is episode 40. I guess you have to go back several episodes to July 17th. That's when I first said, hey, we're going to get a cool down in August. And some of you thought, no, I'll believe it when I see it. But good call. Thank you, Phyllis. That's what I thought. You know, I call them like I see them. Balls and strikes. Good call. It was cold. It was cooler in August. And so far, some of you feel like it's late September because that's what it feels like. 79 is typical for the last few days of September. Kind of amazing, but I got to keep moving. By the way, I couldn't do this very easily without a sponsor, so I want to say special thanks to Marco's. They're adding a new location, but we have a contest. We're trying to give away free pizza. Do you know how hard it is to give away free pizza? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But either way, if you want to participate, we're going to be announcing winners on Thursday. We do that every Thursday, but there are 5 locations, soon to be 6. 5 locations, soon to be 6, that are participating in the free pizza giveaway. And there's even a cooler thing in this regard that they're also doing. Their deal of the week is lunch. I mean, if you use WTKR lunch as the promo code between 11 and 3, you could get any one of these 5 meals. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to go to any drive-through today and not spend more than $10, $12, $15, right? You could get this for $7.99. So I'm thankful for Marco's because not only are they giving away free pizza, not only have they given a great lunch deal for somebody who might want it, but we're going to be giving away that free pizza certificate on Thursday. So many great things. You could grab a Zoli, grab a Magnifico, but we want to thank you for participating and thank Marco's for playing along with the games, because we've been playing a lot of games regarding the giving away, and we're happy that everybody's participating. All right, so let me get back to the temperature change. It is 2 degrees cooler now in Franklin than it was this time yesterday. It's 2 degrees warmer in Edenton. Where are you getting this? I'm using the numbers here, right? This is actually, you're getting 2 numbers for each town. It's 3 degrees cooler in Ahoskie as compared to 24 hours ago. It's just kind of put it out there so you have reference. And if you look at Suffolk, they're 2 degrees cooler. It's 3 degrees warmer in Nags Head. Now here's what's interesting. The radar has been lighting up like a Christmas tree today, but not all of this has been reaching the ground. Why would I say that? Because oftentimes in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, there will be an evaporation process that will dry it up and it disappears before it reaches the surface. Some of these light green dots are just that. We have clouds, For sure, where there's some green areas, we have clouds, but a lot of this has been evaporating before it reaches the ground. And so I just point this out because based on observations, we can look a little bit deeper. We can see that it's a couple of sprinkles maybe around Virginia Beach, and it could be drizzling there in Virginia Beach at the moment, but there's a better chance it's raining west of I-95 in spots and down towards southern sections of North Carolina. Current conditions would suggest it's just mainly cloudy. Maybe a little more sunshine has been observed in Manio as of 7 p.m. Again, these are hourly reports, so we're now at 7:45. Maybe partly cloudy, as might be described in Norfolk, but far greater clouds in Williamsburg. We got more clouds in Wallops Island and also over Wakefield. So that's the service map. If you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. It's really simple. You saw me put a screen comment there just a moment ago. So if you would like to participate, and I can do my best, I'll do my best to find out what you want to talk about. We'll do that. It's not that hard to do. I've done it before, and we're going to do it again soon here. But I want to see if you've got a comment that's add to the conversation. I see something that's just come in from Denmark. He's usually pretty quick on the draw. Denmark says weather. Let's see here if I can fly in here. He says, David, keep it cool for us. Realistically, could we see a cool August? So far, so good, my friend. So far, so good. Because right now, the 7-day forecast takes us out to August 12th. I think we have another chance of getting cool around August 19th, and you're going to be hard-pressed to hit 9 average 90-degree days. We average 9 in Hampton Roads, at least Norfolk. Be hard-pressed to make up for lost time. I don't know if we'll do it. So to answer your question, it could very well be that way for now, but the humidity will come and go, but maybe it's not as hot and sticky as before. Let's see here. A couple of things. Got a question from Michael. Let me say hi to Michael. Michael has a question. Let's see if we go. It's a little lengthy here, but it says, Dave, a couple things. First, will the new guy be joining you here on First Warning Live? Not in the plan right now. But second, are you able to prognosticate the forecast for Sunday, August 24th? That's pretty interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I could tell you we're trending cooler, but with high certainty, the short answer is no. If you're asking me, will there be a tropical storm on my doorstep at 2:30? I had somebody ask me that when I first got in the business. Someone said, because it was April, and their daughter was getting married in June, and they said, I know you don't know, but could you please tell me if it's going to be raining outside of Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill at 2:30 on June, 24th? And I said, lady, it's only April 10th. She says, I know, but I got to book a tent. I got to book a tent today, and the deposit has to be placed today, so I just want to know. And I told her, go ahead and get the tent, because you'll have shade for your beautiful daughter, and you'll have shade and protection if it rains. Boy, was she happy. So, I mean, I could do one of those things for you, Michael, and say it's going to be perfect on the 24th or it's going to be lousy. I just don't want to do that to you today. I just, stand by. That's why we do First Warning Live Monday through Thursday. But you've got a break point. Let me keep moving because I got to keep moving. It's now 7:48. I know we're going to still find other questions that come up, and they're fun. I love being able to answer them as best I can. Notice it's raining in southern sections of Delaware. There's rain back toward Wilmington, North Carolina, and some severe weather in parts of South Carolina. But I got to talk about this again. I mean, do you have to? Yes, I do. Rib currents, they've been a problem. And what's really problematic is we've had 36, are you ready for this? 36 drownings. According to the Virginia Department of Health, 36 drownings this year. I know I'm new here, but does that not seem like really alarmingly high? 36 drownings. Think about this. From rip currents alone, we had 192 people die in the last quarter of a century. That's more than tornadoes. That's more than flood, lightning, wind, and tropical combined. I believe this equals 116. We've lost 192 people in a quarter of a century from rip currents. Now, to be fair, the Department of Health, come back on camera a second. The Department of Health said that this was primarily, it's a cumulative. It was also including swimming pools. There were an increase in under 5-year-olds drowning in swimming pools. Now, we were super hot. We had those 106s, 110 heat indices. So a lot of parents might have said, hey, just go out in the pool, and maybe they didn't pay attention to them. I don't know. But I feel like as a neighborhood, can't we do better? I think we can. I'm more optimistic that we can, but we got to communicate with each other. We got to learn each other's names. Maybe you can't watch the kid the entire time, but maybe the neighbor, can you watch my daughter in the pool while I run to the mailbox? Something like that. I don't know, but we've got to figure out, we got to do better than losing 36 people drowning this summer. Come on, parents, somebody back me up on this. If you think that, that's normal, I don't think that is normal. I just don't. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just old school. We got to take care of each other. That's what we're here for. So don't fight the current. If you're swimming, The swimming parallel idea to the shore should not be new to you, but if it is, that's what you want to do. I don't want to act like you're a tourist. You want to like swim, hey, I'm just going to swim along the coast till I see, I don't necessarily have to go in where my towel is. I'll just keep going down until I can break the rip. You got to learn how to do that. And the highest rip current risk is at around low tide. Well, when's low tide? Or what am I supposed to be a marine scientist? No, I'll tell you what low tide is. Tomorrow it's 11:49. So it could be an hour or two around midday. If you're in the water, there's another high risk. Please pay attention to the lifeguards. They are there to help you. But 3 to 4 feet for surf height, and winds are going to be about 5 to 15. So I hate to beat this drum, but it really is important we take care of each other. What else? What we have to do this. Speaking of tropics, let me keep moving. Tropical storm Dexter. This storm is not going to be an issue. I don't even know why I talk about it, but some people go, whatever happened to Dexter? You mean the Showtime character? No, I'm not talking about the serial killer. I'm talking about the Dexter storm. This one's going out to sea, may cause some issues for shipping interests or cruise lines, but it didn't even become a hurricane. All right, it's got winds of 40, it's gusting to 50, it's moving northeast at 13. So we can say goodbye to Dexter, but this one has been amplified. I'm talking about this now, 40% right in here. It was a yellow area at 30, now it's 40. X marks the spot, there's Dexter over here. So just to give you orientation, whether this area gets a name or not is probably academic. Why do I say that? Because if it doesn't get its arms together, right? Think of it like a figure skater that pulls his or her arms in as they start spinning, right? It may not get the definition of a storm, but I would draw your attention to Chantal. That was just a tropical depression when it moved over and it dropped 5 to 10 inches of rain at Chapel Hill and Burlington, North Carolina. And it shut down some businesses for weeks. Restaurants had to close. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to have a name to cause damage, but we sometimes tendency for human beings to say, well, if it doesn't have a name, it's probably not that big of a deal. But this has to be watched, right? This is the big story of why we're going to see humidity rise, while we're going to see rain developing, and we're going to get some puddles that form this system right here. Does that make any sense? I hope it does. There's another storm system. That one could get the name Erin, E-R-I-N, but this next one, 50% chance could get the name Ferdinand, or maybe they switch places. It just depends on which one forms first. So Erin and Ferdinand are in fact the next two names on the list. We can cross off Dexter. He's not a factor. Chantal's history, Barry's history, and Andrea's history. All right? So just so we're all clear, that's where we stand on the tropical systems right now at this point. Let's see. I got a note. Oh, it's probably a very observant note here. Let me fly in here. Too many people attached to their phones more than each other. You know, I got to agree with you, Kenzai. Is that how I said that? I just appreciate you and your observation, because I know that many of us wouldn't leave home walk around the block. Maybe it's not safe. I understand there's certain neighborhoods that are safer than others, but we've got to learn how to take care of each other. That's important. How do we lose sight of that? Maybe you blame it on the pandemic. I don't know. But we've got to learn how to take care of our kids, especially when they're in the pool or if they're at the beach. It's just so important. But thank you for that comment. I appreciate that very, very much. All right, so we go back to the maps. We've been talking about Erin and Ferdinand. This is a system that's going to be moving north. So when we're talking about this low, name or no name, it's going to move north. And watch this area, right? This is us. This is Hampton Roads, Northeast North Carolina. This is noon Friday. You got to take this full screen so you can see this, what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is why the rain chances are only going to increase on Friday. So I think now Thursday and Friday, if the quicker it gets in here, if it's quicker to get in here, it'll be leaving quicker. I mean, the sooner it gets in here, the sooner it gets out. We've got to face that. And then if you move this to Saturday, things improve, at least in Southeast Virginia. But maybe there's still a few showers in the Outer Banks. That takes you through 1 o'clock on Saturday. Does that make sense? 7:54, keep moving, because again, the Atlantic storm timeline, we've talked about this, it's September 10th. That's what this represents right here. The peak of this little map is September 10th. So we'll just put 9, 10. So around the 10th of September, that doesn't mean we're all getting hit by a storm. It just means that historically is when you probably find more activity in the Atlantic than any time of the year. And then it starts to decline as we go into October, November. We can all probably remember Superstorm Sandy. We can remember storms that maybe didn't fit that parameter. But based on history, the timeline is a pretty good guide. So don't be alarmed. I'm trying to suggest to you so weather doesn't surprise you. Here are my headlines. Actually fits tonight's discussion. Tonight's humidity increasing, stickier to end the week, rain returning, few showers tomorrow, puddles forming, more storms and showers Thursday and Friday. You're going to be amazed because I'm going to show you something that maybe most television stations won't show you, which is a host of rainfall models, because you're going to see how different they are. And then, so this whole notion that lightning never strikes twice, it strikes the Empire State Building almost 100 times a year. People live and die by these myths. Oh, lightning never strikes twice. It does. Just ask the folks at the Empire State Building. Happens all the time. We also have this notion that if it doesn't have a name, it can't really amount to much. That's not true. So again, it's not easy being a weather person. I'll tell you a reason why, as you'll see some of the model data here in a moment. By the way, the national map, if you're in the military, you got family anywhere in all places. I'm looking at severe weather this evening up in southern North Dakota, and also maybe back towards South Dakota near Rapid City. Come back down to the south. Yeah, there we have a couple of severe thunderstorms. Looks like in South Carolina, well southwest of Myrtle Beach. If I zoom in a little bit tighter, I knew my mouse is going to cause me some issues. I haven't figured out. Maybe it's definitely my battery, my wireless mouse. But there's some severe weather storms south and east of Daytona Beach, and some just northeast of Savannah. The wildfire smoke, we talked about this last week. Looked like it was going to come our way, but then it moved and migrated northward. This is a projection from the Canadian wildfire smoke moving toward New York State and spinning over places like Pennsylvania, so it does not look like it's going to be an issue here in Hampton Roads. Now, would that change in the future? Anything's possible, but right now it looks better than it did last week. The August normal rainfall, 5.88. This is the second soggiest month of the year. Typically July, we get 6.08, but we were a little bit below average, at least at the airport. And 5.88, again, is a 30-year average. Just for comparison, we're watching that closely too. So what have we had? We haven't had much, but we're going to add to it. So far, 0.14. And as I mentioned, we picked up that on Friday. So far today being Tuesday, we've had nothing, and maybe nothing. Maybe a sprinkle or a trace could fall before the night is through. Highs today hit 79. We've covered that. We've done that now 4 days in a row. Tomorrow could be 5. 81 for a high in Chesapeake. And Suffolk hit 81 degrees. Kind of curious to know if you're on the call. You got a note? You got something you'd like to share? Let's see here. What did we got a note from Anthony? Did I say that right? He's on here. He says, came here for today's date. Thanks in advance. Today's date would be the 5th of August. I think I have it put it on the live stream. I wanted you to have, this is episode 40. If you're really keeping track, I've got all the episodes on my YouTube channel because I believe some of the Facebook posts, live streams disappear after 30 days. I don't have control over that, but if you want to go back and watch any of the live streams, this is episode 40. I can assure you that. But let's get back to the maps. But thank you, Anthony, for participating. Our Norfolk 90-degree day average is 8.9. We'll just round that up. Thanks to our friends at the National Weather Service in Wakefield. As you can see here illustrated, it's 8.9. So this is a 30-year average. We typically see 36 in a calendar year, but so far we've had 27. So we are not going to get any 90-degree days this week. I mean, let's face it. Some of you are like scratching your head going, are we even going to get an 80-degree day this week? Maybe. Maybe not. Not if this system comes up in the south, keeps its rain socked in with the rain. We might have a hard time hitting 80 when we were just counting 90-degree days just a few days ago. It's amazing how the tide can swing. That's how weather works sometimes. I tell you this because many of you have been to the beach. In the morning it was low tide. You stay there through the afternoon, it's high tide. It's the same beach. How can that be? It's just the way sometimes Mother Nature works. And if you notice, it's typically most abundant, the 90-degree days, in the month of July. We had 12 days in July at 90, and we had 12 days in June. All right, 75 is our current temperature in Suffolk. We have dew points currently in the 60s. That's coming up. How do I know it's coming up? Because the dew point change over the last 24 hours is now +7. In Norfolk and Virginia Beach. It's +6 in Chesapeake, Currituck, and +7 in Williamsburg. So our dew points are coming up. That means it's 7 degrees more humid now than it was when I was doing First Warning Live last night. So isn't that interesting? I mean, for comparison, it is stickier. So we've got the humidity increasing, we've got the rain forming, and now we're going to soon have some puddles. I want to show you these maps because they're going to be pretty impressive. So we had a 60-degree dew point yesterday. It's now come up to about 68 or so. It will get back up a little bit higher. Here's where I expect to be. It won't be necessarily miserable, but you and I could experience more unpleasant weather with the 70 to 75 range here. So I've got 72 for Sunday, I got 70 on Saturday, and it was 68 today. So, I mean, you're kind of got to be consistent. It's not going to go much higher. I should say never, but I should say it's not going to go much to the length it was last week, because I believe it was last Wednesday we had a dew point of 79. And that pretty much is that's the top of the ticket for us. I mean, a 79 dew point to suddenly drop to where it is now to 68 it was 54 Sunday morning at 6 a.m. So I take notes of these things, that I just want you to know where we stand. The dry air is still living in Pittsburgh. How do you know that? Because it's 49. It's very comfortable there. And in fact, it's probably in the 40s across much of the Adirondacks, or perhaps even into the Tug Hill Plateau. As far as temperatures, I want to say a good evening to everybody in East Knoxville, East and West Knoxville, East Tennessee, because I lived there for 15 years, and of course I've been here now for about 5 months, a little more than 5 months in Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Hampton Roads. Glad to have you all here. Temperatures a little bit cooler in Charlotte because they've been dealing with some rain showers, and that's why I say the rain that we get could have a cooling effect going into the rest of the week. Temperatures all over the map, right? We're looking at 71 Atlanta, hot spot. Where would that be? San Antonio. Boy, my goodness, Lubbock's 98, while Vegas, single digit dew points here, but they're at 105 and 113. So some very hot air moving across some of these areas. Let's see here. I got Kim. She's on here, says, I hope so. Not sure what she's saying, hope so too. So maybe I got it out of context. But I do hope that you are eager to keep it out of the 90s. She'd rather maybe keep it in the 70s. That's where we've been, and I don't see a whole lot of change. I have a forecast tomorrow of 81. But when I did yesterday's live stream, I said, well, we're headed to 83, but we're going to struggle to get there. Elizabeth City hit 83 today, which is south of Norfolk, but we only hit 79 in Norfolk. So again, we're going to struggle to hit 81 tomorrow. We might very well be in the neighborhood of 79 again. That would not surprise me, but that's just me. But these temperatures around the country are very hot in parts of the west. And look at where the coloring is. The hot weather is going to continue to stay. This is like a 10-day projection, a 10-day expectation, while the cool air in blue is beginning to build across parts of Canada back toward Quebec, and I think it's around the 19th of August. This says 15th. I understand that. But this is only going about 10 days out. I think some of the cooler air and the colors you see here are going to kind of ooze down. So we have another chance, if Michael was asking about when it's going to be cool on the 24th, it's possible. I mean, I really think it's going to be hard to make up for lost time, given the fact that we've already erased, the first 5 days of August, we didn't hit 90, we barely hit 80. So these things tend to change the landscape entirely. Here's my Wednesday planner. A mostly cloudy start, 75 degrees, sun's up at 6:15. Noontime, more clouds. Some might start to see some showers as early as 12 noon, but I think it's primarily afternoon. It's only going to pick up. I put more rain here for a reason, because I think more showers, if this is a 30% chance of rain by day, is at least a 40 or 50% chance of rain at night. So when we're doing live streaming, and I think there'll be more I can circle in on, and we can hone in on that as needed. But sunsets tomorrow night at 8:06. It goes to bed tonight at 8:07, which is just 4 minutes from now. Temperature trend in the upper 70s, low 80s. So if these all came out as 79-degree days, I mean, what was that? 4 plus 4? That's 8. We'd have 8 days at 79. There must be something wrong with the thermometer. Maybe not. I mean, because if we stay in this range, it's going to be because of one word, which is rain. Because rain will have a cooling effect, as we just saw in Charlotte. So we may struggle to get out of the lower 80s the next 4 days. Chance of rain, I have 60% Thursday and Friday. This 40% Saturday may be more in the morning, as it may decrease in the afternoon, and I think maybe spotty on Sunday. So that's my expectation at this time. Okay, I want to remind you, if you haven't, but we're going to get to the fun part. I want to remind you there is a deal. Did I mention there was a deal of the week? Oh yes, if you are hungry for some lunch, check out Marco's Combo. They have a $7.99 combo from 11 to 3. All you need to do is go to marcos.com and type in the promo code WTKR lunch. Now maybe it's a small one topping. That's very filling. You're going to spend, newsflash, way more than $7.99 if you go to a drive-through over the next day or two. So this week you could pick a Pizzoli, pick a regular size salad. Maybe you want a 6-inch sub. These are fantastic items from Marco's, all part of the deal of the week. This is an effort to give away some free pizza. We're doing that too. There are 5 convenient locations, soon to be 6. The one that's going to be developed, I think it's next month, but give or take some time. We're going to see this one on South Battlefield Boulevard open up. This is right near the Great Bridge Middle School. So for those of you who need some comparison or orientation, that's where that's located. But the 3 in Virginia Beach, 1 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk, they've got their 757 phone numbers. You can call them. You can check them out when you go to marcos.com. But I would really encourage you to go our webpage, WTKR.com/Marcos, in about a span of maybe a minute or two. Just type in your address so we can send you a certificate if and when you win. We gave away 10 individual pizzas last Thursday. We'll probably do that again Thursday. We've done it the last couple of Thursdays. But we're in August, so this is like a punch card. Once you get your free pizza, you're getting 1 large, 1 topping pizza monthly for free for a year. I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal. And again, that's all because Marcos is very generous with the pizza, and I think it's a great opportunity. Now, to show you and to demonstrate how difficult it is, how much rain am I going to get? Now, this is just a few days away, right? This isn't like if this were batting practice. Could you get it past? Could you get it past second base? Oh yeah, I could hit it right over the fence. Maybe maybe it's like swinging for the fences. But here, where one of the models want to suggest the rainfall. Let's move this forward in time. Do you think it's a low or high amount? Pick out your favorite number. Okay. Now what did you see just there? I don't know about you, Aldrich, but I see 3 inches in Southside. Yeah, and maybe what's hiding behind the Albemarle here, because there's some yellow here, that could be 3 or 4 in there. I mean, so is that gospel? No, it's guidance. It suggests there's lesser amounts on the eastern shore, but this takes us through Saturday night, and that's the southern system that's moving from south to north. Whether or not it gets a name, this could be tropical or pseudo-tropical moisture. Now, that's just one model, right? There's about as many models as there are breakfast cereals at Harris Teeter. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so let's be fair. If it's 3.1 on this one, let's look at this model. Let's see if this is any different. I'd say there's a big difference, don't you think, between 3.1 and 0.5. Well, can't you pick one? Because this one says 4.6. Oh my goodness, that says 4.6. You did not just show that on the air. I did. Because remember, what did I say at the top of the thing? Remember Chantal? 5 to 10 inches of rain from tropical depression Chantal. Nobody's going to get scared when you say, oh, it's just a tropical depression. You could be in trouble because you know what? Bad weather happens whether it gets assigned a name or not. So it's so important, whether it be rip currents, take it seriously. If it's your neighbor who's under 5 or under 10, swimming in a pool for just 5 minutes, make sure they're watched. Make sure you watch them. They're so important because they matter. Your neighborhoods matter. Everybody in this case should be aware that we have the potential for some seriously heavy rain. 4.6, that's a big difference. What's happening is the models are doing their job. They're trying to figure this out. It's just a few short days away. Today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's a 4-day forecast. And will this change again tomorrow? It will, but lesser amounts look like they're in Richmond and Roanoke, and lesser amounts at Cape Charles. That's consistent. It does not look like an Eastern Shore event. But we are expecting some heavy rain as we move into Thursday, Friday, as I see it, and some of it could be very, very heavy. Hence the word puddles form. Didn't you say puddles forming this week? I did. So you think 4.6 will create a puddle? It'll create a very, very big puddle, and I want you to be aware of it. I'm just trying to make you aware that some of this stuff can be changing and evolving while I speak. Now, speaking of the Eastern Shore, highest temperatures tomorrow, 78 Bloxham, Saxon 79, Onancock 78. Exmoor, Cape Charles, about a 40% chance of rain here, 78 in Exmoor. By the time we move further south toward Duck, 79, 81 Nags Head, 81 Manio, and further south down toward Hatteras, 83, Ocracoke, 83, and 82 in Rodanthe. Now, Harvard Park has a ball game tonight. They were giving out Tides baseball cards. Gotta love that. But tomorrow, to be forward thinking, the chance of rain is going to be up more than what it is tonight. So we've got a 40% chance tomorrow night, but it is a night. First pitch is at 6:35. If you're going to be there, it'll be cooling through the 70s. There will be a wind about 5 to 15 plus tomorrow night. Storm Prediction Center looking at some of these dark green and yellow areas that's isolated and scattered between now and tomorrow morning. If you have family in Bismarck, Rapid City, or Aberdeen, it could be scattered severe storms. You could also throw in Omaha for isolated severe storms between now and daybreak tomorrow. Nothing to see here as far as severe weather. That's good news. Good news for air travel as well. Tomorrow into Wednesday, it's primarily north across maybe Minneapolis, St. Paul, Omaha, Kansas City, and Rapid City. Isolated severe storms there. Storm Prediction Center maps suggest, again, nothing going on the East Coast. So the Mid-Atlantic gets a pass of no severe weather going on here. By Thursday, the expectation continues to grow in North Dakota and parts of Montana. This area, Bismarck, and just south of Great Falls, could have some scattered severe storms. Minneapolis, St. Paul, Green Bay, also isolated, but again, nothing to see here. It is now 8:10. I know my clock's a little fast, but hopefully we'll finish here in just a minute or two. Franklin says, hey, I got some rain. If this verifies, some rain may move in here. This is, by the way, I should mention, this is another model. So we've looked at 3 different models. They're all different. They have different solutions. I don't think it's going to be raining like this at 7 a.m. I think it's going to be a little further to the west. It'll be between Roanoke and perhaps Raleigh. But again, there's some differences and discrepancies. That's just part of the territory. So based on my experience, I would suggest you're going to have a better chance of rain tomorrow in Hampton Roads and Southeast Virginia in the afternoon. Can't say you can't get some rain at noon, but it will likely stream in more likely the afternoon like so. So it will be, again, periodic, more in the afternoon, evening. We'll keep an eye on it all the same. Thursday, we agree here. I agree with this outlook, right? This is 6 o'clock Thursday. I've got a 60% chance of rain. There's some showers pretty much everywhere. And if this system continues to move northward, it's going to fill in the gaps, and we'll continue to see this rain periodically. So keep the umbrella within reach, as you'll need it for the next couple of days. Wednesday morning, we're in the low 70s as a general rule. I'm talking about the peninsulas and south side, but if you're in inland Virginia out west, you're looking at the upper 60s here. Ahoskie 68, Williamsburg 68, Wakefield 60. So basically there's even a temperature gradient here. Further west, it's going to be a little bit cooler by tomorrow morning as you head out the door. Meanwhile, tonight's lows give way to the afternoon. We'll be struggling to reach 81, 80 in the peninsulas, 82 for North Carolina. And high temperatures here look like about 78 for Hampton, 78 for Suffolk, about 80 degrees in Edenton, and 81 in Elizabeth City. So I think we'll again struggle to reach 81. We'll have to wait and see. With an east-northeast wind, sometimes it's hard to achieve that. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 79 Thursday, 81 Friday. I am hopeful that once we get this system to break, we'll go back into the lower to mid 80s. So Sunday, Monday, pretty decent. And I wouldn't write Saturday off. I mean, the quicker it gets in here, the quicker it's out. This number may go down. We'll wait and see, and the timing would be better. Nobody wants rain on the weekend, at least not that I know of, but we'll be gradually getting a little bit warmer as we head toward Tuesday of next week. Okay, let me check real quick some happy shots. Some of you have some other questions. Great picture from Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea Chandler. We have a WTKR photographers page. Some of you have discovered it. We have some very talented people in there, and this was a great picture. I thought it was cool. It got like a triplicate, but the Cape View Beach, thank you for that picture, Chelsea. It also lifts our mood, because sometimes hearing about the weather can be a little bit burdensome. I hope it's not, but just know that we have some beautiful pictures in this area, just because when the weather is nice, Michael was able to capture this beauty from Virginia Beach. And last but not least, we have one from JL Bree, Monday's moon from Chesapeake, which of course is a great segue. I think it's a great segue because when you look at the full moon, I believe is the 9th. But you know, when you think about this, you know what I'm thinking. You know, maybe it looks better on the big screen. Oh yeah, the moon. Hey, the big moon. When the moon hits the sky, like a big pizza pie from Marco's, right? Did we mention they have a deal of the week? Yeah, they do have a pizza certificate, but you got to definitely check out these 5 locations. Give them a call, register so we can give you some pizza. I mean that. We want to give as much pizza away as we can. We're going to be doing that on Thursday, but you can be a winner. It's not hard to do, as we've given away probably between 50 and 75 pizzas now since the start of this, when we did starting the live stream in May 19th. So the lunch combo is this week's deal. Yes, you can save some money. You can use it as often as you want. You can share this, screenshot it, and save it, but there are 5 great lunch items. You could try one this week and one tomorrow, and then a Pizzoli, a pizza bowl. You can mix it up. I think those are great ideas too, and you can save some money for you or family that might want to go grab something to eat. Again, much better than going through a drive-through. All right, so I just want to thank you for your time. We got the moon. I also want to bring back this because this is what we were talking about, the weather. Are there any questions? If you do, I feel like a school teacher wanting to see if anybody's raising their hands. I got a note from Taj. I was waiting for him to say hi. He's got the, let's go. I'm with you, buddy. Let's do this. And so now it's 8:14 and my time's about wrapped up, but I love I love the animation. I love the emojis. I love the energy. Let's keep it going. Appreciate the conversation, and I love the fact that you're here. Thank you, Taj. Let's see here. Kim was following up. Thank you. So I'm always in the loop. She says, I was replying to Denmark's message about you keeping it cool for us. Remember, I'm just the messenger. I take no credit for the good days because sometimes the bad days are so bad, Isabel, so bad, Hurricane Hazel, so bad. I don't want to be around when it's like, oh, it's his fault. Get him. I don't want that. So I won't take credit for the good days. I'm not going to take credit for the bad days, but I'll be a messenger, right? Messages just take care of each other. All right, take care of our kids when they're in the pool. Please, please. It's so important. And maybe just don't overdo it when there's a lot of chop and a lot of, these high rip current risks have been with us for several days now. And there are a lot of people who are not realizing you could be the best swimmer in the world. It can really take it on to you as well. So just be very careful. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Well, just to remind you, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny, doesn't matter if the weather is serious, if it's cool, or if it's hot. Just know that every day is a gift. Every day is a gift. Make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.